Hello students, in this class we will see statistics chapter 10 standard. It deals with different central tendency measures. They are called mean, median, mode. You have seen these three parameters since class 8. Mean is nothing but average. Median for a raw data is the middlemost score. Mode is nothing but the observation which repeatedly occurs, right? They are for the raw data, means unorganized data. This is the definition. But in this class, we will see exclusively there are different methods of mean finding method, different methods to find the mean, direct method, assumed mean method, and there is one more method called step deviation method. What are those methods and how to use the formulas? We'll see that. In this class particularly, we'll see the mean introduction, different methods of finding mean. Before that, we'll just recap what comes in statistics is we know CI, that's a class interval, there's a lower class limit, upper class limit. Okay, class mark is upper class limit minus lower class limit. Class mark as class size, both are same. Then midpoint of the class, right, is upper class limit plus lower class limit by 2. That's a class midpoint. When CI is continuous means 10 to 2, 20, 20 to 30 like that. It's called exclusive CI, and we will be checking CI before we start finding mean median mode. It should be in continuous mode, means exclusive CI. If not, we have to convert it. There is a method that I will tackle when we get that kind of questions. When CI is discontinuous, it's called inclusive. For example, 1 to 4, 5 to 10, 5 to 9, 10 to 14, like that. So if you see the class upper class limit, lower class limit of consecutive classes, they're not matching, overlapping. When it's not overlapping, it's called inclusive CI or discontinuous CI. We have to make first them inclusive, then exclusive, then we have to calculate the mean median mode of the question. That how do we do that? Means 5 minus 1 becomes 4, 5 minus 4 becomes 1, that half is 0.5. 0.5 you have to subtract here and add to the upper class limit, means minus 0.5 to 4.5, 4.5 to 9.5, 9.5 to 14.5, like that. See, now it is continuous, means they are overlapping. The consecutive CI, lower class limit and upper class limit overlaps, means it is continuous. These kind of CIs we will be working on. If not, you have to convert by this method. Okay. Coming to the mean, there are three different methods for finding the mean: direct method, assumed mean method, step deviation method. What is direct method? I have given example here, finding using all three methods. We'll see one by one. If CI is given and F is given, F is a frequency. Mean by direct mean method is this formula: sigma Fi xi by sigma Fi, means sum of the product of frequency and midpoint. Xi is nothing but a midpoint, okay, of a class, and their sum divided by sigma Fi, sum of the frequency, is the direct method. So let's see, xi is nothing but midpoint. How do you find midpoint? We just saw it is the average of the CI upper class limit, lower class limit. Means 25 plus 15 is 40, 40 by 2 is 20. Like that, 25 plus 30 is 60, 60 by 2 is 30. So once you find xi like this, we are done. For direct method, this much. So sigma Fi xi, how much it becomes? You have to find sigma Fi xi. Okay. Once you find the sigma Fi xi, divide by 35, you get the answer mean 39.71. Okay. Remember, this is a direct method where you find just xi and product sigma fi xi. See, it is found here. Sigma fi xi 1390. So 1390 by 35 will give you 39.71. That is the direct mean method. 1390 by 35 gives you 39.7. So basically CIF and will be given, you find the xi and product FIXI, sum that sigma FIXI and ratio of sigma FIXI by sigma Fi is by direct mean method. This is not good method if the Ci or F is more in number. Okay, you get big calculations. So for that they introduce one more method called assumed mean method. What does this say? Assumed mean method. You see the formula, mean is equal to x bar is means mean a plus sigma fi di by sigma fi. What is a? Here a is assumed mean. What do you mean by assumed mean? Means once you find the xi, till xi all three methods you have to do. Ci will be given, f will be given, you have to find the class mark xi column. Once you do that, you assume a mean out of it. One of the xi as a assumed mean. Usually we assume or recommended to assume is the middle one. So for example, if there are 7 Ci here, so I assumed 50 as the middle assumed mean method. Assumed mean is 50. If there are 8 even numbers, you assume any one in the between 8. How to use that is, see di is equal to xi minus a you have to do. Means xi you have this column, a we assumed 50. So xi means 20, 20 minus 50 minus 30, 30 minus 50 minus 20, 40 minus 50 minus 10, 50 minus 50 0, 60 minus 50 10, 70 minus 50 20, 80 minus 50 30. Once you have d here, okay, in the assumed mean method, see this column comes because the formula says a plus sigma fi di by sigma fi. So you have got a di here, multiply it with fi column, you get fi di column. I have put all three methods together here. So it's up to you, you construct, because if they ask find mean by all three method, it's always better to formulate the table in a single shot. Pick the values as needed for the particular method. So sigma fi di means fi and di column multiplication, 6 into minus 30 minus 180. Like that it will go. When you add, it will become minus 360. So formula is a plus, a is 50 we assumed. It's your full rights to assume anything as a. Okay, a plus means 50 plus sigma fi di is minus 360 by sigma fi is 35, you get 39.71 as the mean. Okay, once you do this assumed mean method, this is also, if numbers are more, it gives you little bigger calculation compared to the direct method. So they introduced one more method, because if you observe the di column, we have 30, 20, 10 and all. This gets reduced to single digit in fi. ui is, this is a step deviation method. How? Because for the di, what is the class size you check? 25 minus 15 is class size, that is h is 10, right? If you divide by 10 for the di, you will get single digit. Minus 30 by 10 minus 3, minus 20 by 10 is minus 2, like that. So the same thing they used and called it as a step deviation method. Here also they assume one of the xi as a assumed mean. So usually the middle one. So here also I assumed 50 as the assumed mean. Then how do you calculate ui? Check the formula. It is sigma fi ui by sigma fi into h. Ui is nothing but di by h. Di is again x minus x, xi minus a. Don't get confused. Once you practice, you will get better understanding. We'll see every problem when we solve the exercise. Right now I'm just giving introduction to the methods used here. Ui is di by h. What is di? We calculated it already, 30, 20 like that. By h is class size 10. So divide by 10, you get single digit. Then this fi into uy will give you sigma fi uy. Sum of that sigma fi uy is minus 36. Minus 36 by what? This apply this formula. A plus sigma fi uy by sigma fi into h. So A is what? Assumed mean 50. 50 plus minus 36 by 35 into 10. You will get 39.71. So basically, I'll just summarize the three methods of mean. In the direct method, sigma fi xi by sigma fi. In both step deviation and assumed mean method, we assume a single one of the mean, that is xi as a mean. We subtract observation midpoint from A. We formulate di for step assumed mean method. Di we use the formula A plus sigma fi di by sigma fi. When because for a di we divide by h, we multiply by h in the step deviation method. Otherwise, both assumed mean method, step deviation method are same. When you ask me which method to use, no matter the CI, you always use step deviation method. It will be very easy. Calculations will be easy. You will not prone to the errors. So step deviation method is always easy. Again, provided if CI and F are very simple, go for direct method. It will give you quickly the answer. Okay, thank you.